Hey there, thanks for joining me. My name is Carrie, and I'm finally getting around to filming a planner lineup for 2026. Today is December 26th, so I know there's like literally not even a full week until 2026, and so I'm so far behind on like everything because I haven't set anything up. But anyways, let's get to it. So the first one is one that I'm currently using because it is a 25-26, and this is my journal. So I'm not going to show like any actual journal pages, but just to show you what kind of layout it is the I think they call this the horizontal checklist. So I do a little bit of journaling because I'm not a huge journaler, but I want to have like at least a line a day, I always say, to kind of describe at least something that happened. And I use this section as a gratitude section. So sometimes I just leave them with the little check boxes and just write one over it. But I do like three gratitude a day, but that I might kind of change to one or two, or depending on what day it is, however many, at least like one thing a day. But it's kind of getting hard sometimes because I hate doing mundane things like, oh, I have a roof over my head, which obviously should be absolutely grateful for, and I am, but I'm trying to come up with something that kind of pertains to that day. So I've decided to kind of stop beating myself up over trying to think over the day for like extended period of time going, what even happened today? It was just like a regular Wednesday, for instance. But anyways, to move on, as I've been rambling on here, and that's the problem with these expander discs is they often don't want to turn very well. So I'm going to be using a lot of my Winnie the Pooh lineup, and I have my little sticky notes. Sticky notes, if you don't know, are like one of the planner's best friends because you can stick it somewhere and not have to worry about it mattering. It's not permanently on the page. But anywho, so this is a mini one that I'm going to have as a purse planner for like health and wellness. And just to show you, so I have where I'll take a mild liner coordinating with maybe one or two moods for that day. And these are kind of the moods that I came up with. If you have any other ones that like, um, you know, let me know in the comments because I'm always like trying to like figure out like what was today type of thing. Like, because sometimes it's not always, I might kind of break down this blah, sad, depressed, because sometimes I'm blah, but not necessarily sad and depressed. But anyway, again, I keep rambling. So that's what I do on my monthly in this wellness planner. And then I'm going to do something kind of along these lines of different, like, trying to, again, let me know if you have like some good symptoms to track because as I am going to be 46 in just a month and a couple days or whatever already, I feel like I'm having these like perimenopause symptoms. And so I'm trying to like track different things like, how many hours of sleep or what my sleep was like and things like that. So, and yes, you see poo. Yes, one of the things that they say, to track is bowel movements, if you will, but I'm not going to label that in my planner. So, if it's TMI, go, that's okay, go somewhere else. But, just I wanted to show, my example of, and making sure that I have a checkbox to like take vitamins and then an area for kind of like, so I was splitting it up into like three. But so my symptoms part isn't a lot, but also I kind of wanted to say, like, again, either if I did like a workout or meditated or something like that, because that's another thing I want to start trying to do more. Although with undiagnosed ADHD, because I'm pretty sure I have that, the mind just races. But so, they say to try to calm it down. So I'm going to try to focus a lot more on health and wellness in 2026. And then also having, I think I started saying about this section. So, like, this is more of health, steps and hydration and movement and things like that. And then a section for craft time. I want to start working on lettering again and self care. So, that's why I have, do a deep conditioner and a face mask on self care Saturdays, I'm going to call it. And this I'm going to kind of frankenplan with my current. I love having a nice purse planner. So this is my, let's see here. It's like the doggy one mini that has a section and then a check. I love having a checklist section. So I usually do have my catch-all with me, but in case it's something I just want to kind of sloppily jot down, I do usually kind of decorate this a little. I don't try to focus too much time on something like this or even like this, but you know, decorating it kind of helps me use it. But this is mostly for my sloppy, oh crap, I got to remember to get this at the store and that kind of thing. And so I'm going to kind of frankenplan it with this. I'm going to use the Pooh covers, but I think these, I'm going to make a video about it. So we'll just say that, and hopefully you can, you know, if it's something you're interested, you can look for that one upcoming. And then this is a dashboard. This is what I was going to use as my catch-all, but I'm kind of, you know, looking at what I have in my stash, trying not to buy any new planners and things. And so I don't want to buy an actual budget planner. Believe me, I love their budget planners. This is my one for this year, which is actually from last year, but I'm using it this year. But anyway, so, you know, a place to kind of track your expenses, which I also usually just do in a different, this is like a Simply layout where I kind of write down every day. I know that upcoming I have to pay the internet bill, so that one is on there, and then I kind of transfer things. So instead of doing all of that, I decided that this year I will take this dashboard that, like I said, I was going to use as my catch-all, because my current one is a faith catch-all kind of situation, and I like vertical, but also for me it's not as easy to decorate and use. But I'm going to go back, we'll get to that, but I'm going to go back to using a vertical, but mostly because, again, I'm not trying to buy like an actual budget planner, and I don't really have one in my current stash. I was going to use that one that I got, the big one. It was in the mystery bag, but I kind of decided not to. So what this is again, I'm going to do kind of a video as to how I use my budget planner. So that's why these, what do you call it? Filler paper are in here. But I'm going to use this kind of like that and the other one combined. So write down daily expenses on whichever day, and then figure out how to reorganize this and utilize different sections to, you know, what bills are coming up maybe, and be able to kind of say, you know, instead of maybe probably down here, again, I'm going to do like a video on this too, but, you know, to kind of say, you know, groceries, how much did I spend this week on just groceries or just car maintenance or blah, 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 blah. So that is that one. And then my daily verse, I've been using just a regular, a notebook that I think I made. No, maybe I purchased it. So, but this is the one I got from Amazon, and I think it's perfect because, and actually my mom got me another one for Christmas. Which is awesome because I love this one. You know, it's it's very plain. So it's just all plain pages, which is great for, you know, just a journal or something like that. But also because I can kind of combine it with the other one, and it's just, you know, there's no decoration. So I can basically use, you know, any sort of decorating, which I don't do a lot of decoration. That was a weird decoration, not shing, on my daily verse one. But every once in a while I do, you know, want to use like a faith-based something or other. So this is great because it's very plain. And like I said, I'm just basically using a notebook right now. So, and then this is what's going to be my catch-all. The other Pooh seasonal, only big. So I have to get used to decorating a big again. And I have to pull out my big filler paper because I have mostly classic filler paper, which you can put classic in here, obviously. It's just a little short and weird looking, but I get over that because I'm not really usually bothered too much by things like, you know, a lot of people see. That was another thing, was this was kind of an example of, you know, the pages all have something like that on it, but I covered it with something. So, you know, the fact that it only just has the little dots down here, it doesn't always have to be Pooh related, but, you know, in like these pages, there's those all the way down, but you know, I'm only using this to color in anyway, so that doesn't really bother me. But back to my catch-all is, I'm going to have to kind of alter the way, because, you know, when I use a dashboard, I had a section over here for, like, you know, things to buy and things like that. So I'm going to have to kind of come up with where I'm going to put certain things. I used to use a vertical. I love verticals. I just don't have, it's nice, especially if you're like, you know, morning, afternoon, evening, or, you know, certain, like, just like I did in the other one where there's, you know, different kind of types of things or something that you're trying to track. But when you're not, it kind of makes it hard for my brain to work with it. But again, I think I'll be able to you know, being a big as opposed to classic is also helpful because I can use a lot of decorating and just have little segments of things to put here and there and whatever. But anyways, so that, I think, is all the planners in my lineup for this year. I do have my mom. Bless her heart, I love her to death. But she bought me, even though I told her I already had everything. In fact, my gift to them, my mom and my sister-in-law love Happy Planners also, so I always give them some for Christmas. But she bought me this 2026 weekly and monthly. This is another Amazon exclusive, I think. But so it is also, but it's a classic size vertical. So I don't know if I'm going to figure out something to do with this or just save it for redating at a later time. The thing I like about these Amazon ones is the cover is like really super sturdy compared to, I mean, these are sturdy, don't get me wrong, but these are like super sturdy. And I'm also not sure, I don't think I'm going to keep like these discs. I'll probably switch these for something, possibly even these ones. I'm not totally sure on what I'm going to switch because like I said, I'm like really far behind. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, and give me a like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. If you have any other questions or anything, feel free to leave those below. And I hope you join me again next time. Bye.